what's going on? I'm Fabian for Liberty. FabianForLiberty.com is the website. You know, this is an incredible story regarding the illegals that were shipped into this country by Obama. We know that prior to the real wave of illegal kids coming, that in January of this year, the State Department issued a notice, basically posted on a couple different job boards, where they were looking for people to help with the flood of illegals into the country, primarily children. So it was a planned attack on America's sovereignty by having these illegal children, supposedly, flood the country. But it doesn't just end there. It's actually much more sinister than that, because the majority of these kids, or a big portion of these kids, we know brought into this country all kinds of infectious diseases that have mostly been absent in America for the last 40, 50 years. Enter the enterovirus, which last week we had a 4-year-old child in New Jersey die from this illness. So happens that a lot of the Obama illegal kids have been relocated into most of the states that are experiencing the highest contagious or the highest contagion of this enterovirus that is spreading among kids. This one act alone is enough for Obama, who is a front man for the New World Order, to be thrown in prison immediately, along with the CDC and the majority of Congress. Now, I should have done this disclaimer before, but, you know, Obama is you know, it's like if I walk into a Walmart, which I don't go to Walmart, but I used to go there when I was a kid. My parents would shop there. Back when it was like the Walmart in Bullhead City, Arizona, and it was like, you know, the big deal back in like the late 80s. But, you know, you walk in and there was always this friendly greeter there. And, you know, it's like they would wave at you. And really, I think they're like a proxy, like security guard or some kind of security that checks your stuff. And they check your receipt. Oh, want to make sure you got all your stuff. Okay, that's like me walking into a Walmart and thinking that Walmart greeter actually runs Walmart, the Walmart Corporation. Okay, Obama is the equivalent of a Walmart greeter. He doesn't run squat. He's just there to, you know, wave and smile. And so let's get that clear. But of course, he is complicit because the New World Order seeks out radical naked communists like Obama that hate the republic, that hate the country, and are totally down with causing all kinds of devastation here in order to spread complete chaos and to support this notion of a needed world government. I know that's a lot to say in about a minute, but that's just the truth of it, and I could break that down more in the future Fabian Calvo Show episode. So we have the enterovirus spreading now. Obama's to blame, as are his policies, as are his advisors. Doesn't end there. In 2010, Obama administration, by executive order, stopped and prevented the CDC and major regulations that they had passed in 2005 under the George Bush administration, who, again, Bush is just like Obama in that they're the frontmen, okay? They don't run stuff, okay? But, so it's not about Bush versus Obama. I don't like either one of them. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. Both parties play by the same playbook. And guess what? It's not representing you and I, and it's certainly not representing the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. Point is that in 2010, Obama passes an executive order that prevents the CDC from regulating international travelers to America that potentially are carrying some of these deadly pathogens, whether it be Ebola, whether it be tuberculosis, smallpox, yellow fever, you name it. So we see this, we see this track record of action is taken months, if not years in advance, and then boom, all of a sudden we have the crisis unfold. Where now we have Ebola, infected Ebola people, not only in Spain, we've had the first reported case last week in Dallas, and I mean, just type in Ebola fear United States and stories or something along that, and stories from Utah to Hawaii to Orlando to Washington, D.C., all over. People are freaked out that Ebola could be spreading. Of course it's going to spread. Now, is it going to take out 90% of the population? I hope not. I don't think it will. But I will tell you that we are witnessing a biological attack against the Republic and against the American people. Here's the last thing that I think is going to be happening soon. I think we're about a month away from news stories breaking, and I may have mentioned how I know this, but let me just say that I think we're about a month away from beginning to hear Europeans and Americans who supposedly have gone fighting for ISIS coming back to, in essence, spread Ebola. They will be infected with Ebola. And we know ISIS is run by the West. Look at all these supposed, unprecedented coalition of airstrikes that were taking place against ISIS. ISIS just seized a major city called Kobani along the Turkish border. They're spending $1.3 million per Tomahawk missile or cruise missile that takes out a $20,000 1980 retrofitted Toyota car with a Soviet-made 1970 50 cal mounted on top. I mean, why aren't they taking out the Abrams tanks? Why aren't they taking out the caches of Stinger missiles? Why aren't they taking out Raqqa, where we know all the head leadership is there? Why not take that city out? Of course they're not taking any of that out. Because the West is using ISIS. They're using them to take out Bashar al-Assad, like they will use them to try to further create chaos in the United States with this Ebola crisis. Now let me tell you, I've said this for now, I think about 4 years. The globalists thrive in the petri dish of chaos. The more chaos, the more power that they obtain. And so they need to spread the chaos. That's why they're doing it in the Middle East. That's why you see America is completely unraveling at the seams with just blockbuster issue after issue. I've never before seen this in my life. But now it's not just politicians run amok that are idiotic. Now it is literally a matter of life and death. I'm Fabian Calvo, Fabian for Liberty. Love to hear what you have to say about this. Thanks for watching. I'm out.